A huge day over in Paris on the hardwood. The United States men's national team, looking for its fifth consecutive gold medal in basketball, will play a quarterfinal game today against Brazil. To help you get set for it, from Sporting News, Bill Bender joins us here on this Tuesday on the Early Line. Bill, we appreciate the time. Thank you for being here for a Tuesday Olympic assessment of everything we need to know over in France.
Well, Ben, good to be on with you. I'm so used to being on with you and talking Iowa, Rutgers, or Michigan
100%.
State. We're going to have to try Brazil, Team USA today. Let's go for it.
We will. And I know that is a huge disappointment to Donnie that we're not diving through Big Ten football at this moment, but it is okay. The Olympic Games, a wonderful substitute. So, Bill, 4 quarterfinal games today in Paris in men's basketball. In the opener of this Tuesday, Germany knocks out Greece 76-63. The Germans stay perfect in Olympic action. The Americans looking to follow suit later this afternoon against the Brazilians. 3:30 p.m. Eastern time tip here stateside. In the United States, a hefty favorite in this matchup against Brazil. 26.5 points, the total at 184 and a hook. How do you think the Americans, Bill, will perform against Brazil today in Paris?
Well, I mean, they're 9-0 all time against Brazil, so let's not think that they're going to lose. I think Team USA has looked good enough. I mean, if we're talking against the spread, 1-2 against the spread in the Olympics. These are huge spreads, though. I was saying to Craig last week, it reminded me of, Florida State and Akron. Not picking on Akron, sorry. But, I mean, a huge spread that they're tough to cover if they're not up big in the first half because that other team is able to fight on that. I think Bruno Caboclo is obviously worth watching. Had a huge 33 points, 18 rebounds against Japan. And you wonder how he'll perform against Team USA. But it's too much depth, too much, size, and it doesn't really matter which guys Steve Kerr play. I know a lot's been written about that. I think they just have too much with a different guy going off each game. It was Anthony Edwards in the last one with 26 points. It's going to be tough to beat Team USA here.
Take a look at a couple of the games also underway right now. Australia and Serbia, 54-42 right now. Australia does have that 12-point lead. Canada and France a little bit later at 12 noon Eastern. Then we have Team USA taking on Brazil at 3:30. As you pointed out, that large spread. How do we figure the game flow, Bill, is going to go in this? Because now we're in the knockout stage. Are we cutting down some of our rotations for Team USA? Much more of a defensive effort locked in? How do you see this game playing out that way?
Well, I mean, three-point shooting dictates so much when I watch a basketball game anymore. Brazil shot the three very well against Japan, and that's why they won the game. So Team USA, they're going to shoot a lot of threes, between 25 and 30. I'm wondering if this isn't the game where Steph Curry gets back on track. And he obviously struggled a little bit in these Olympics. I think 5 of 19 from three-point range in the 3 games. But if Steph Curry were to get going in the first half, maybe hit 2 or 3 3-pointers, I think the entire team would feed off that. When you have 4 or 5 guys hitting double figures anyway, that's one of those things. And it helps you throw an early knockout when you're knocking down those shots. You saw what Kevin Durant did in the first game. So, I mean, three-point shooting can dictate whether or not Brazil stays in this game. They're going to shoot 30 to 40 of them. But and that might not even be enough. They could shoot 55% from three-point range and still lose the game.
The intensity ramps up here in the knockout stages, trying to get to the medal round with a victory. Bill, we just showed some of the props for today's game between the U.S. and Brazil. You mentioned Steph Curry, 2.5 made 3-pointers is his prop, the highest points prop for the U.S. Kevin Durant at 15.5 points. Anthony Edwards, 26 to lead all scorers against Puerto Rico. His number 13.5. Outside of Steph, who for the United States steps up today against the Brazilians?
Well, take your pick between Ant, who had the big game, obviously, but the way this works. These guys share the ball and they share the love, and they, just because Ant had 26 last game doesn't mean he does that there. I think LeBron's been pretty steady. I would go there as well. LeBron, knowing it's the medal round, knowing it's the urgency. I could see him scoring 14 to 18 points in this game, especially knowing what Caboclo did. I mean, that was 33 points in a game. That was pretty amazing for Brazil. So I look for, if I'm hitting one of those props, I think I'm going to go LeBron, maybe Ant, but and then Durant, we'll see. But, I mean, LeBron James looks good. Steph Curry, I'm going to take a stab at that one. And then, Embiid got back on track as well. I mean, 10-6, that's not very hard in a game like this.
Taking a look here and flipping over from the basketball court onto the pitch, Team USA's men's soccer team has been eliminated. They are back home, but the women's team looking to advance here. You take a look at USA and Germany. Just to advance, heavy favorite for Team USA at a minus 245 price. An unbelievable goal by Trinity Rodman pushed them through. What are the expectations today from Team USA going up against Germany on the pitch?
Well, I think they're winning, and what I'm kind of watching is this, the beginning of, if Team USA gets through, which I think they will, and you could maybe hit the over on that one as well. Does it set up a matchup against Spain, which I really believe could be our next gen rivalry? Spain has really come on the women's soccer scene. They were able to win the World Cup. They've advanced in this first Olympics. They've looked really good. They beat Team USA for the first time in a friendly in 2022. So if Team USA gets through today, plays Spain in that gold medal match, that's a lot of fun to me, because it'll carry over. And that women's team, at least for me personally, I've been looking for them to have a true rival, one that could go through a decade and really help grow the sport. And I think Spain might be that team. I say all that and watch Brazil upset them.
It will be a fascinating game today for Team USA. Again, those are the odds as of this moment just to advance, minus 280 for the Americans. They will, if they win, take on Spain. And like you mentioned, Bill, the Spaniards get a draw against Brazil. But Spain, a hefty favorite to also advance to the gold medal match at minus 355. So now we go to the odds to win that gold medal. Spain plus 125, 40 cents in front of the United States at plus 165. It's what the odds makers want. I think it's what the fans want to see in that gold medal match in the women's soccer tournament. Bill, how could you describe the stakes of what that gold medal match could be if it is the United States against Spain?
Well, I think today could dictate that maybe those lines push closer together, and you get almost a what would be a virtual pick'em on the football side. I'm sorry I always compare everything to football, but it's just habit. And it could definitely make this game that much more interesting. I would take the value in Team USA there. It's going to be tough. It's a really hard match. Spain has only given up like one goal before the medal round, where they had the shootout with Colombia. They're a really good team, and I think it'd just be a lot of fun to watch. Like, for me, I love great rivalries. You guys know that, and I think that could be the start of one here on the women's soccer side.
Let's have a little bit of fun with this, Bill. Watching the Olympics so far over the past week, there's been a lot of big highlights here. What's the best highlight that you've taken away so far from the Olympic Games?
That's almost an impossible question, but I got drawn into Grant Fisher last week in the 10,000-meter run. And I ran track in high school. I ran sprints. There's no way I could run 10,000 meters, first of all. But to see him hang in there and the way they push at the end, and just the amazing – when I watch a race like that, I'm so astounded at how they're running at I don't think I could run that fast for 50 meters, and they're doing that for 10,000 meters. And the way that he was able to medal in that event, which is very, very difficult. I mean, there's obviously been Simone Biles, Katie Ledecky, everything else that's gone on. But for some reason, maybe it was the time of day and I just caught in watching it, that one's going to stick with me for a long time.
Yeah, it's very cool stuff. The fact that we get these throughout the afternoon hours. Maybe you're working out there, maybe you're covering it, but you get to tune in and see what is happening over in the Paris Olympic Games during the afternoon. Fall in love with sports that you've never seen. The chaotic world of kayaking that we have seen in the last little bit this week as well has been sensational. Bill Bender from Sporting News, we appreciate the time. Thank you for being here on this Tuesday on the Early Line.
Hey, no problem, guys. Thanks so much.